Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I like it. Yeah, man. As promised, I'm back with the NXT Battleground AEW Double or Nothing review. I won't take up too much of your time. You guys already know how it went down, but we gonna talk about it still. So the top theme for the night. Hold on, let me turn this down. Let me turn this down before I get copyrighted. Top theme for the night was Mr. Whoop That Trick Williams, winning the NXT title, or TNA title, I should say. Hold up, let me get my Joe. Let me get my shit set up. So Trick Williams won the TNA title in a big upset from Joe Hendry, which I'm pretty sure nobody thought it was going to happen. I didn't see the benefit in Trick winning the TNA title. But I will say, I think now they go with Joe Hendry winning the NXT title to get back at Trick for taking his TNA title. So I'm going to predict that Joe Hendry goes on to beat Obafemi and wins the NXT title at the next pay-per-view. Basically swapping Joe and Trick show for show, because now it's a little bit more even, because WWE already got Joe Hendry on the Rumble. He got a WrestleMania match with Randy Orton, and TNA basically got this is all they got now. Yeah. 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 Anyway, like I was saying, before the trolls hit the scene, I ain't gotta start blocking motherfuckers. Once my moderators get up in here. Yes, I like Gollum, my precious. What's good, Fluxy? If you're here after the show, let's talk about it and tread on the scorpions. Oh, do I? Says the guy with no fucking profile picture and doesn't have the balls to even show his face, but wants to talk shit on my life. Got it. Prime fucking troll for you. Yeah, you could get the fuck out of my chat, you faggot. Time out for you, buddy. Time out for you. Bye-bye. Hello, Angie Rihanna. If you watch wrestling, stay tuned, because that's what we about to talk about. So yeah, I see Trick Willie showing up on NXT with the TNA title. Somehow, Joe Hendry ends up winning the NXT title from him. Now, let's see what else was there. Stacks. Lorenzo Stacks beat Tony D'Angelo. And it was alright. It was an okay match. I mean, it was what it was. I guess they're pushing Stacks as like new talent, trying to get some new people up in there. Sol Ruca retained over Kalani Jordan, who I thought was Lola Vice at first, with the cornrows, the pink cornrows, and the outfit. She was basically wearing the same shit that Lola Vice wears. What else happened tonight? Mike Santana from TNA showed up on NXT. He is going to be facing... What's that dude's name? Miles Bourne's partner, I want to say Dion Lewis is his name. I'm about to look it up. Let's look up. Is it Dion Lewis? I don't remember his name. It's Mike Santana versus Dion Lewis. Yeah. Yep. Mike Santana versus Dion Lewis. Tuesday. Then it's gonna be Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page, which I feel like they should have had it on this show in place of a couple of the matches, like that Hank and Tank versus the Culling shit. Just could have kept it off the card and put that on NXT on a regular Tuesday night, if you ask me. But that's just me. Let's see what else we got. I believe in Joe Hendry. We talk about some Double or Nothing. Anarchy in the Arena was for what it was, hardcore 10-man, 12-man, falls count anywhere. Basically a free-for-all for all the spots and the blood and the craziness of it. I mean, and there was some good spots in there. Marina gave Willow Nightingale a suplex, something on the barricade, I want to say. I forget what it was. There was so much action going on. There was like 4 screens all over the fucking place, so you had to watch each little picture every time to keep up with the action. It was a little chaotic, and then I had Double or Nothing on my laptop, and I had NXT on my TV going at the same time. So, really, I was trying to keep my eyes on both actions going at the same time. There was so much shit happening at once. There's a lot to digest. A lot of pro wrestling tonight all at once. But we're going to cover it. We're going to get into it, review it, whatever you want to call it. I just come on here, watch the shows, spit some bullshit for a little bit, say what I gotta say, so it's on record, and can't nobody tell me that I'm stealing opinions from anybody, because they're all mine. What else? There was a spot where Swerve put on the Iverson Swerve 3s, I think they were called. They both had tacks on them, so it was a little callback to when the Bucks did it to him, I think last year. No, they did it to Darby Allin, but I almost want to say they got Swerve with him too, with the J's with the tacks on it. He did a coup de grace on Nick Jackson's fucking face, and it looked brutal. Outright brutal. Vicious. See, the one thing you can always count on with AEW is hard-hitting action, brutal spots, lots of jumping around and flipping, not much storyline or dialogue in there, which is, with WWE, is the opposite. You got 30-minute promos opening up every fucking show, dialogue that nobody cares about, really. A lot of the stories in WWE right now are fucking shitty, lackluster, boring, missable. And to be honest, the current state of pro wrestling as a whole should tell you that anybody that covers this shit actually loves it. Because anyone that's getting excited for the build up to these shows, hats off to you. Bless your heart. Honestly. Because you must be, 2 eggs short of a dozen carton. To put it in simple, easier terms. Now, there was a lot of fluff here. So that's why I'm not going to go through move for move, spot for spot, top to bottom. We're going to talk about the shit that actually matters on this show. I'm not going to waste your time for 2 hours spitting and screaming and yelling about how much everything sucked. And I'm also not going to be a fucking positivity merchant or a grifter for one company or the other like a lot of these other content creators are. I'll keep it right down the middle. Oh, my brother, testify. Like Devon. 50-50, right down the middle. We call it like it is here. We don't sugarcoat shit. We keep it real, raw, uncut. No frills, no script, no notes. And I'll say it over and over many times. If you don't like my opinion, if you don't like my delivery, if you don't like the way I come off or look, then off is the direction you can fuck. Seriously. I don't come on here to read troll comments that have nothing to do with wrestling or sports or anything in general. So, like these two clowns in the beginning of the show, you will get the banhammer. The second it sounds like you're talking that bullshit. You feel me? Now, what else was on there? Mercedes. She beat Jamie Hayter like we all knew. I didn't even give 2 fucks about this match because I already knew. Mercedes has creative control. She has her own writers and her own team. So until she loses an actual match on TV in America, that other title that she lost out of her 7 titles was just to send that company's title back to where it belongs after she paraded around with it as part of her collection of titles. But she won the Owen Hart tournament, and now she's back to 4 belts again. And speaking of that, so she'll move on to Toni Storm at All In on July 12th, which I'm not expecting Toni Storm to win either, because everybody Mercedes faces takes a big fat fucking L. So what does it even matter caring about this? Honestly. Like, yeah, it's going to be a good match. They're going to do finisher after finisher, kick out after kick out. But one of the things that takes me out of a feud or a program or a match is predictability. If I can look at the two in the match and just know 100%, then you lost me as a viewer. If I can sit there and say, gee, I wonder who's going to win that fucking match, what's the point of watching it? I can watch it on YouTube later. I can watch the clips. I can just watch the top 10 of SmackDown in 10 minutes where it shows you the fucking highlights. I'm not wasting 3 hours of my time like most of you idiots do, and then want to go on social media and comment to me about, you ain't a real fan. If you don't love everything you do, you're not a real fan, Fernando. You don't get to fucking tell me what a real fan is. I've been watching this shit since 1990. That's 25 years. Wait, hold up. 90, 2000, 2010, 2000. That's, 25 years. Solid 25. So you don't get to tell me what a real wrestling fan is. I ain't gonna allow it. Especially if you're gonna tell me, oh, if you don't like 30-minute chain wrestling exhibitions, you ain't no real fan. Fuck out of here. Just like earlier, this morning, I'm in a bunch of groups, wrestling groups, for engagement purposes, followers. I get a lot of my followers from wrestling groups and whatnot. One of these fucking idiot geeks, when I said AEW just bashes you over the head with wrestling constantly. It's just wrestling, rush, non-stop. No time to breathe. And WWE is all commercials. Bash you over the fucking head with commercial after commercial. Some of the matches, before they even start the match, it's going to a commercial. Logan Paul and Jay, on Saturday night's main event, they did 2 moves to start the main event. As soon as they tied up, it went to a fucking commercial. And when I mentioned that, this bozo on social media wants to tell me, you're just reciting the stuff that the other reviewers are saying, Fernando. You know what that's fucking called? You jack off? A shared opinion. Just because somebody else says it in the content creator space doesn't mean nobody else can say it. They don't own that opinion. That opinion doesn't belong to just JD from NY or Santi Zap. Yeah, I might agree with the shit that somebody else says, but it doesn't mean they're the first one to fucking say it. Get a grip. I'm here to enlighten you. I will help you sound less dumb on the internet and on social media. So don't be going on social media with this tribalistic dumb shit. If you're an AEW fan, don't be going on social media saying that WWE is nothing but a soap opera. And if you're a WWE fan, don't be going in comment sections talking about, oh, nobody wants to watch finisher after finisher and no storylines. You get the best of both worlds from both shows, so just watch them both. Enjoy them, criticize them, talk about it, and shut the fuck up. And if all you are is an online Twitter troll with a fake profile name and a fake profile picture, shut the fuck up and start your own shit. Put your face out there like everybody else will. Stop being a pussy. Stop attacking people because you don't subscribe to that brand of wrestling. There's many different forms of wrestling out there. Enough for everybody. Enough to go around. You don't gotta like one or the other. You don't gotta like both. You could like GCW. You could like MLW or MWL or Lucha Underground or New Japan. Or there's just so much wrestling out there. To stick to just one or force people to watch one is ignorant and stupid and childish. As wrestling fans, we're all blessed. We're all eating good. As lackluster as the product is, you don't have to just watch WWE. You don't have to just watch AEW. There's literally like 7 different fucking promotions you could watch. And I know most of you, a lot of you, if you're going to be watching this at length, spend a lot of your time on social media, in the comments, on Twitter, on Reddit, on IG, watching reels, commenting, going back and forth with people like me, trying to have a logical, civilized discussion about a TV show that we all watch. That's the common bond that we have. Without that, I don't really want to fuck with none of you guys. Because you're all a bunch of weirdos. A bunch of creepy ass fucking wrestler followers who meet people at the airport. Who show up at meet and greets with like 30 different things expecting them to sign it all. That's why they tell you, get the fuck out of my face. 1 item per fan. And then you go and cry about it on social media. That's the kind of fans most of you are. I'll never do that, man. I actually have respect. Now I got a little bit of off topic. Got a little bit on a rant. Because of today's happenings. Let's talk about, what else? We covered Joe Hendry and Trick, obviously. It's the talk of the night. We covered Mercedes and Tony Storm / Jamie Hayter. We covered Sol Ruka versus Kalani Jordan. Stephanie Vacker versus Jordan Grace. Was alright. Was okay. Not the best of both women's matches, but I feel like they're saving some for matches down the road. They don't WWE doesn't like to give everything to us at once. They like to do this little breadcrumb bullshit. And then when you finally get to the pay-per-view, there's another just little tiny ass fucking breadcrumb waiting for you. Hold on, I want to hear this again. Got to. It's stuck in my head. It's stuck in my head. I can't see around my phone. Might get copyrighted for this, but... I like it. Yeah, man. I had to get it out my system. Welcome if you're just joining the show. If you're just joining the live, drop a comment, drop a subscribe, drop something. Keep me in the algorithm so we can boost the channel, get things flourishing a little bit. Drop a like, a share, a comment, anything. Let's see, what else? Let me just pull up this card. Whoop that trick. Because I believe in Joe Hendry. Soruka versus Kalani Jordan, blah, 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 blah. Soruka won. Hank Tank and Josh Briggs versus the Calling. It was a nothing match. Hank and Tank win. Stacks, Channing Lorenzo Stacks, or whatever the fuck his name is, hits him with a bicycle knee to the back of the head for the dub. Let's see. Oh, Obafemi versus Miles Bourne. How could I forget such a banger? The deaf Miles Bourne took Obafemi, the NXT champion, to the limit. Like I thought he would. Wasn't just going to be a squash. They went back and forth. A lot of gourd buster. What's his finisher called? I can't remember what it's called. Let's see. The power bomb and then the big that. I don't know. I can't remember what it's called. But he hit him with that like 3 times. Bourne showed a lot of guts. The typical, he took him to the limit match. Which nobody thought Oba was going to lose. Still NXT champion. Which, like I said in the beginning, I think Joe Hendry somehow ends up facing Oba and winning the NXT title. So then we have a TNA guy with the NXT title and a NXT guy with the TNA title. You wash your hands of the deal and both sides win. And they get the exposure of the other fan bases and the other companies. It's kind of like TNA and WWE are in bed together, so it's not really like an actual competition, because all wrestling fans, whether they want to say they do or not, they all watch WWE, AEW, TNA for the most part. Like, those are the big three. Majority of actual wrestling fans watch that cluster of wrestling promotions. There is a lot of casuals, but most fans, if they're online, social media, hacking away like Kermit the Frog, talking about wrestling all day, you're a fucking hardcore loser, and you watch all promotions. So don't try to sit there and act like I don't watch WWE, I don't watch AEW. If you didn't, you wouldn't be watching it on social media. You wouldn't be talking about it like you do know what the fuck you're talking about, okay? So, let's just stop that shit. And then, yeah, we already talked about Joe Hendry and Trick Williams. Let's look at the double or nothing card. The double or nothing to care about card. It was a decent show. Not a lot to hate on, as somebody who's not always thrilled or the biggest AEW fan, but let's see, double or nothing. Here we go. Anarchy in the arena. A lot of anarchy in the arena tonight. AEW Continental Championship match. Kazuchika Okada and Speedball, No Shoes, Mike Bailey. Didn't watch much of it. It was a match. It was great. Great wrestling, great graps, as they like to call it. Okada retained. Nobody even thought Mike Bailey had a snowball's chance in hell of winning. So that's that. Not much to talk about. I don't know what else you want me to say. Okada's one of the best in the world. Mike Bailey is a great wrestler, but no one fucking cares about that. The Sons of Texas versus the Hurt Syndicate, another match. I mean, outside of MJF joining the Hurt Syndicate, nobody fucking gives a fuck about the Sons of Texas. Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes, the most jobber garbage tag team probably in wrestling, holding the most worthless, heatless, meaningless titles in all of wrestling. The ROH titles. A show that doesn't even have a fucking TV deal. What do you know? But Tony has the balls to put him up against the dominant Hurt Syndicate, I guess, and expect people to care. What do you know? Nobody does except for the fans in attendance, which AEW fans seem to think everything AEW does is just gold. Good as gold. They don't care. All they care about is cool wrestling moves and high spots. And no selling. As you saw in the Anarchy arena, in the arena match, Swerve literally no-sold a Canadian destroyer, then flexed up and hit the last call knee shot or kick to the dome on Matt Jackson. I scoffed, specifically chuckled at that spot because that's what I hate the most in wrestling is fucking no-selling. When you get a move done to you, I don't give a shit about fighting spirit. Sell the fucking move. You're just making it look 10 times faker than it already is when you get dumped on your head on the steel steps or on the concrete and just get right back up and are just in the fighting mood again. Like, it leaves me, I just go. Fucking retards. What? No. What? Watching me? No, just standing there. What? So I just changed junior. I'm getting a bottle. Good. This one? No, that on back there. Water on. The door. Yeah. Alright. On there talking to myself. Fucking hard to do. Alright. Back to what I was fucking saying before I was interrupted. I got thrown off because I keep hearing rumblings and grumblings in my other fucking room. I need to get some fucking headphones or something. Just keep hearing noises and it's throwing me the fuck off. I need it quiet. Alright. To what I was doing. That's the art and beauty of post-production. I can just delete all that out after I post this. Let's see, I'm just going down the card here, even though I just fucking watched it. There's a lot to digest without sitting and taking notes. Oh. Ricochet versus Mark Briscoe, a stretcher match. If you didn't watch it, you didn't miss much other than a bunch of plunder and blood for no reason other than to beat Mark Briscoe into the ground, which was doing nothing for Ricochet because Mark Briscoe is a flat-out loser and jobber. They couldn't have had him beat anybody else other than this. Nobody. I mean, no disrespect to Mark Briscoe. He's a great wrestler, but I haven't seen him win one single fucking match since he came to AEW. Not one. Have you? Can anyone here name me a match that Mark Briscoe won? For anyone to care about Ricochet bloodying him and putting him in an ambulance. Can anyone answer me that? No? Alright. Just checking. And this is the problem that I have with Tony Khan's fucking shitty booking. Ricochet. You have Ricochet. Somebody who, yes, he needed a win, but him beating Mark Briscoe did zero for him. Because he hasn't done shit since beating Swerve. Like 3 months ago. He fights the Tomohiro Ishiis and the fucking ciabatta burger buns. The Japanese wrestlers on Collision that he goes through that nobody gives a fuck about. I could look up his track record since then and people he's feuded with, and it's just all bullshit. Wasted time. And I'm not just talking shit on AEW, just this match specifically. Ricochet has fell the fuck off since he first came in and turned heel. Now he's just a joke. And then don't get me started on this FTR versus Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia. What? I was watching this and I could not stop thinking about what is this that I'm watching and why do I care? Why does anyone care? Other than the, 150,000, 200,000 AEW elitists. And even then, if you're going to sit here and tell me that you care about Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia, you're fucking lying. You're a liar. I won't be bullshitted. Tell me one thing about Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia, a redeeming quality about either of them, other than they're good wrestlers. They're just guys. Nobody gave a fuck that FTR beat them. FTR beating them did nothing for them. It's just pointless booking and shitty, lazy creative. Yeah, cool wrestling. Awesome. We could see it anywhere. I could fucking turn on the WWE network and pull up a random pay-per-view and watch cool wrestling. I can dig through Max. Go to the bottom of the fucking barrel. Search all through HBO Max to find the old 2019-2020 AEW pay-per-views when the shit was actually worth watching and following week to week. I mean, the fun part about it today for reviewing or content creating with professional wrestling is how fucking funny most of it is. I mean, like, Bandito, AR Fox, and Los Titanus Del Air defeats Roppongi Vice in the Crew. Like, who? What? Help me out here. Raise a fucking hand. Raise a hand if you watch this. Because I can promise you, about the same amount of viewers as I have watching right now is the amount of people who gave a shit about this match. Bandito. Fucking Kalisto. Cristavo. AR Fox. Who's fucking basically homeless Swerve. Less swagged out Swerve. Roppongi Vice and the Crew, the fucking Mario Kart brothers. Leo Rush. And Action Andretti. Like, what? This is truly the fun part, folks. Harley Cameron and Anna Jay beat Megan Bain and Penelope Ford. I didn't even watch this, and I just know I'm glad I didn't watch it. Now, we'll go through now with the stuff that I did like. Anarchy in the Arena was pretty tight. I'll give it that. But with 12 guys and no rules, what do you expect? While you're blasting, let the bodies at the phone, let the bodies at the phone. Over and over and over. The match was like 30 minutes long. There was four picture-in-picture screens. And you had to fucking dart around looking at every different direction to try to catch just a little bit of the action. And you just see choof, 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 random fucking shots. Like, there was... I'm trying to think of the good, cool spots that I can name that stuck out to me. The coup de grace on Nick Jackson's face with the tax that Swerve hit. He hit, I don't even know what the fucking move's called. The house call, the last call, first shot, or whatever the fuck it is. Maybe I'm out of the loop with the names. I'm not that much of a real wrestling fan because I don't know one move. Sorry, guys. There was a Canadian destroyer on the stage. What's that? There's a guy on there. He was in there. I don't know why he's in there. He's a Japanese wrestler. I think his name's Shibata or something. But they were back in the corridor fighting, and that was kind of cool. They had like a little section cornered quartered off where they all came out the door and brawled. There was a cool spot. The ambulance from the stretcher match was still there. Mark Briscoe had to have been sitting in there for like 2 hours because he came out and joined the match, the Anarchy in the Arena match, to even the score when Gabe Kidd or Nick Cage or Gage Nick or whatever that dude's name is from New Japan, he came out and started beating people up, rocking them and socking them. And then when they went over to the ambulance, out pops a crusty and bloody Mark Briscoe, just raring for a fight. He'd just been waiting in there, and then the face team of Powerhouse Hobbs, Ciabatta Burger, I think Kenny was in the ring with Swerve. Oh, there was a sick ass spot with the staple gun. They were using the staple gun like actual guns. Like Swerve threw up one of the Young Bucks and said clack right in his neck with the staple gun. That was crafty. I'll give him that. The staple gun spot was cool. They held Swerve down. They held his mouth open and went like this, and he looked left, and they fucking said beak and crack. Hit the staple on the Swerve's tongue, and it was actually in there because after the match, Swerve went like this and stuck his tongue out, and you could see the staple in his tongue. So that was cool. Points there. I wish I had the whole transcript of the match, but it was so long and there was just so much going on. It was like I was at a buffet and on a time limit at the same time, so I just had to just getting shoved all kinds of different wrestling and feeds in my face the whole time. I don't know if I mentioned it. Marina Shafir did like a suplex or something on the barricade, on the hard part of the barricade. I could be wrong. It was a decent bump. Usually barricade bumps are pretty rough looking. Marina Shafir, she got a, what move was it? Not Powerhouse Hobbs, not Shibata. Oh, Kenny. Kenny hit her with the double underhook. I don't know what the fuck that's called either. The double underhook tiger. I want to say that's the actual tiger suplex. Because he did it to like 3 people. And then she came up and she said, do it! You fucking do it! And he said, alright, bitch. Hooked her up and dumped her on her head. I don't even remember how they won that match. Oh, Hook showed up. They teased tension with the Ops, which is a horrible fucking stupid name. Now I get why they named him that. I still hate it. The Ops? What are you fucking... You guys ain't from Chicago, so just give it up. You know... This is what you call trying to cling to social relevancy with these stupid ass names. The fucking Bloodhounds and the Hells of Hell, Demons of Justice, and just the conglomeration. That name just sounds stupid. Like, seriously. Let's see what else. I'm trying to think. It's a lot. In that stretcher match, Ricochet pulled the scissors out from under the steps or wherever he was hiding them, and then hit Mark Briscoe in the forehead. Beep. And I think it was just a little too deep because he was bleeding like Eddie Guerrero in his prime, like a stuffed pig he was. That was cool. Blood is always cool, though, right? And there was blood in every match, so I guess, does that make every match good? No, it does not. It doesn't. That's why they call it adding color. It's not. They're using it like a clothesline in AEW. Like, where's the... What word am I looking for here? Where's the luster in the blood when there's just buckets of it every match? It means nothing. Now, I wish WWE could turn up a little bit more on the blood side. Certain matches that kind of call for it that we don't really see it too much with. Overall, I would say, this is tough. I'm trying to give you guys what might have been like a winner or who won in terms of product, but they're just both so different. It's hard to grade them both the same, if that makes sense. Like, Battleground had like the stars and like, I guess, the moments and storylines and new developing stuff with like Mike Santana, Channing Stacks getting a little push, I guess, or a victory. Then you have Ricky Saints and Ethan Page. They gave them a little promo to set up their NXT match, which is on Tuesday for the North American title. Ethan had a promo. Ricky Saints came out to the ring and got a promo. Basically, they both said the same thing, which is, I don't like you. I'm going to kick your ass. I'll see you on Tuesday. Pretty standard cookie cutter stuff. If you didn't see it, I told you what happened, and you'll get about the same excitement out of me telling you that you would watching it. Unless you're a fucking bozo. I mean, because I watched it, and it wasn't, like Charlemagne says, doesn't move me, man. Doesn't move me. And I guess we'll end it out with Hangman and Will Ospreay. Owen Hart Foundation Tournament Finals. I don't want to bury it. Don't want to bury the lead of this match. It was a good pay-per-view. It was what you would expect out of Ospreay and Hangman. Like, they went to war. Blow for blow, multiple hidden blades and dead shots, and Hangman did the fucking, what is it called? Buckshot lariat. He did that, or tried doing that, like 5 times. 2 or 3 of them he missed. One time he flipped over, Or actually, no, before that, they had a standoff where they both begrudgingly took off their elbow pads, signifying that these blows that we're about to land on each other are going to be more significant than the past 30 that we've hit. Because we took off 1-inch layer of padding. It's going to make it deadly now. That was what I got out of it. So he does the buckshot lariat, and mid buckshot, Will Ospreay cracks him upside his dome. That was brutal. This match was like, it was back and forth, but it was more Ospreay getting his ass kicked for like the first 20 minutes, and then he got like his little comeback and fighting spirit, and then he flipped off Hangman and was like, "Bruv, you can't beat me, bruv." And then he got hit with a regular clothesline, which was like a clothesline from hell, because Ospreay did like a gainer with it. And then after the clothesline, he did the dead shot kick out. I'm just thinking of there's just so much, like the sequences that they go through are just so convoluted that, like, if they could just let the moves breathe a little bit more and not just feel like spammy SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 video game action, it would come off a little bit more realistic. But it's almost like they go for realistic a little too much to where it comes off unrealistic. Like, I don't know how that's even fucking possible, but that's what it is. Like, you're not gonna take all these hardcore moves and then lose to a roll up. Like, when you should have got beat by the first tombstone and pedigree and pile driver on the stairs or the concrete. It was just a regular match too. They didn't do any. Ospreay hit a ugly looking Styles Clash from the apron to the outside, or I don't know if it was on purpose or whatever. Wrestling's a shoot, so you never know. Where Hangman got dropped on his head, and then they played it up that he hadn't moved in a while. They did the, can he get back in the ring? He slides in at 9.5. Typical, regular wrestling tropes. There's more that I'm forgetting. Let's see. The elbow pad spot. The Styles Clash on the outside. Multiple buckshot lariats and hidden blades. Oh, there was a spot where they were gonna do something on the announce table, and it gave out similar to Triple H versus Kurt Angle in 2000 SummerSlam. They went to jump together, spun around or got tied up, and then crush the announce table like it usually does and has many times. Just came out from under him. And the announcers tried to cover it up by saying he didn't get all of it, which is what they always say when they botch. But it is what it is. It's part of it. I like botches personally because it makes it look more realistic and less choreographed. Like, it makes you think, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. You know? Let's see. Oh, the Don Callis family. Let me get started on Don Callis. The most cringe-worthy manager in all of wrestling. I can't stand that fucking guy. You could sit here and tell me he's a heel, he's doing his job. No, he looks like a fucking jackass and an idiot. Not because that's how he's acting. That's just what he looks like and comes off. He's always like, oh, we could have attacked him early, but he was on commentary. He ruined the whole fucking thing. I turned commentary on for like 2 seconds and turned it immediately off. I can't listen to that guy. When he comes on the TV, I'm changing the fucking channel. The Paragon. What happened to the Undisputed Era? The Paragon? The downfall of Adam Cole needs to be fucking talked about and studied. Because it's sad. At one time, the hottest guy in wrestling. Now when he goes, it's like a light, Adam Cole, baby. It's not, it's like, nah. Now you guys went from the era to the undisputed era, the kingdom, the undisputed era, kingdom. Now you're the Paragon. What does that even mean? I'm about to look that up. What does Paragon mean? Let's see. A person or thing regarded as a perfect example of perfect quality. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. Literally mid-card jobbers. Because they lost to fucking the Don Callis family. I'm glad I didn't give a fuck about this, because if I did, I'd be super pissed that the Paragon lost to these fucking losers. Even though they won, they're losers. Takeshita, his name is literally Take a Shitta. Take a shit. And Kyle Fletcher is just with them because he's with the Don Callis family, and then they didn't have anything for Josh Alexander, so they just threw him in with the Don Callis family. Now, he's lost in the shuffle, like everybody else. Yay. Awesome. Well, I think that wraps up another episode. I held up my end of the bargain. I reviewed it, I watched it, and I hated it. But I still did it. And I did it for you. Trying to, before we hit the outro, I'm trying to think if I missed anything. Can't let anything go under the cracks around here, you know? You feel me? Can't let anything go under the cracks, you feel me? We gonna cover it all. I guess we'll end it out with what we started on. You know what I'm saying? The theme of the night. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted, but hopefully my shit don't sound like shit. I like it. Yeah, man.